Hello. Hello. Lauren here from Raw Raw Consulting and the Raw Raw Spirit team, and hope this finds you well. Welcome to April 22nd. Sometimes I don't know how to start these things. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll start with the date. So I don't know. It's April 22nd here, but I guess it just depends on which part of the world you are living in. I just spoke with someone from the US, and of course, it's not the 22nd for them. Regardless, the future is bright, or the present moment is bright. Hope this finds you well. Honestly, I haven't talked to you in so long, and I was just thinking to myself, damn girl, you better touch base, because you're always going on about showing up consistently, and yet you haven't been doing it in a live in quite some time. So this is me getting back on track. I thought I would take a little bit of time to let you know what I've been up to, and I wanted to see how you're doing as well. So please do feel free to leave me a comment and let me know what's going on. If you've got any questions or anything like that, just put it in the comments and I'll be sure to get to you. I have just moved into a farm area. So Facebook and YouTube, I think you just cut out there with my live. Don't worry, you didn't miss too much. And Instagram, if I cut out at all, then you'll just know it's because I kind of have gone back in time a little bit. It almost feels like in some way I'm living in the Middle Ages, even though I have the MBN here. Anyway, so I've relocated to the forest. And if you noticed yesterday on my story, I actually posted a little video of me learning to mow the lawn. Now, where I grew up, we always had a push mower where you just plugged it in and then it mowed. I've basically mowed maybe once or twice in my whole life. This is not a skill set that I necessarily possess, but I actually learned to drive a ride-on mower a couple of days ago, and I posted that story, and yeah, it was amazing. Riding a ride-on mower, you know, it's not like driving a car. There are a whole bunch of other things that you need to do to turn, and it's a whole thing. So I promise that I will continue to post some videos on me learning to ride the ride-on mower because it's very fun, and it looks hilarious, which is always good to laugh, especially laugh at yourself at times. So I wanted to let you know a little bit about what's been happening on the podcast, because the podcast has really kind of taken a bit of a different angle, a bit of a different shift than previously thought. So the podcast essentially is at the moment, it's just me. It's me. It's talking about different ideas. A lot of the stuff that I was doing previously on Facebook Live, I'm now doing directly on the podcast. So one of the reasons why I haven't been doing as many lives is because I've been doing all my podcast episodes on my own. So if you want to hear from me, that's actually a really good place to get kind of the inspiration or the training that I have been doing, because it's all on the podcast. So the episode that actually went live this week is an episode all about looking fear in the face. And in that episode, I basically talk about how sometimes we allow fear to really get in the way of us achieving what we want to do. And I go in to share a couple of stories about how fear has sort of stopped me from, or almost stopped me from getting the house of my dreams, or it almost stopped me from seeing these amazing birds and their whole circle of life. So I know I'm being a little bit vague here, but I really do want you to go and check out the episode, because I'm encouraging you to have a think about whether or not there's anything that you're doing in your life where fear is sort of running the ship, where fear is getting in the way and essentially stopping you from advancing and stopping you from going to the next level. So previous to that, I also did a whole episode on learning to say no. Learning to say no is such an important thing. And it's important because when we say yes to things that we don't want to do, or that don't serve us. And what I mean by don't serve us is I mean that don't take us in the direction of where we want to go or who we want to be. Then what ends up happening is we get further away from where we want to be and where we want to go. And so learning to say no is actually super, super critical, because when we learn to say no, we start to basically back ourselves and back what we want to do in our lives, instead of necessarily like following through the agenda or the requests of other people. So all in that episode, I actually teach you how to say no. We actually practice saying no. And it's really just it's a kick-ass episode. So I really hope you'll check it out. Now, as you may know, I love to support service providers, business owners, people that are wanting to start their own business, grow their existing business, or people that even are working for somebody else and they're just thinking, I feel like I want somebody to mentor me or to help me kind of along, help me achieve my goals, help me to say no, help me to carve out time for self-care, help me to find innovative and maybe different ways of like spending time with myself, loving myself. Maybe you've got goals that you want to achieve. Maybe you're looking for different marketing innovation. Maybe you're looking for, like inspiration or just accountability, right? Do you find that you have all these goals and you know how to get there, but you've got nobody saying, hey, girl, did you get that done? Well, that is what I am available for. So I actually have opened up the door to take applications. Obviously we need to see if we're the right fit to work together, to see whether or not you'd like to put me on your team as a mentor. So I've got applications going for one-on-one mentorship, but you can also get involved in group mentoring as well through the Raw Spirit team. So the way that works is 2 times a month we get together. We have a chat about what's happening. You do goal setting, you do accountability. I follow up with you to see how things are going. Are you achieving your goals? And most importantly, are you achieving the most important thing to do now, as opposed to, maybe the fun stuff that you want to do that's not actually helping you to advance your business or to move you forward in the direction that you want to go and grow. So those are some of the things that I've got coming up. Please do check out the Raw podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. If you have a podcast app and you can't find it, send me a DM. I was going to go call me, but send me a DM and I will get it connected. I'll set the RSS feed up there, but I do think I've got them all covered off. Also, if you do want any information on the mentoring, just let me know what you want some help with, and I'll let you know whether or not that's something that I can assist you with, or I can always refer you to somebody else if I'm not going to be the best fit. And as always, I do have a free masterclass available at the moment. So in 50 minutes, that's 50 minutes, you can learn to reduce your tasks. You can learn to stop being overwhelmed. You can learn to create some space. And again, we can go over how to say no, because I think that say no is one of the most important things that we can learn to do. Because when we learn to say no, we learn to say yes and go with the flow. All right. That's what I wanted to say. So I'd love to hear your feedback. Hope you're doing well. Anything that you want me to talk about on the podcast or on a Facebook Live, just let me know. Again, leave a comment here or send me a DM and I'll get on it. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. Hope you have a beautiful day and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.